Hello everyone, and welcome to this, the second in our live streams of FME 2022 Sneak Peeks. With me today I have my colleague Olivia. Say hi, Olivia. And you're in the geometry team, is that right?
That is right.
And they are basically all of the, what would you call yourself? Mathematicians and...
50% just computer science, writing software, and 50% is domain specific, so solving geometry problems.
Cool. I gotta say, I mean, it's a team. If I was a developer, that's the team I'd want to be in. It's just like...
Oh, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, I don't think my basic skills would go very well these days. But and you've been at SAFE for how long now? Just so everyone can get a...
7 years?
7 years? Okay.
But I did an internship 9.5 years ago.
So would have any of our users have met you at the last user conference, maybe?
Yes, I was there.
Okay.
And I've done one of the world tours in Victoria.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So you're not totally unfamiliar to everyone. Well, that's good. And today you're showing us the dissolver and the Tiler, I believe.
SolidDissolver and Tiler.
SolidDissolver and Tiler. Yes, you're right. SolidDissolver.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll let you take it away, and if I interrupt with the occasional question, yeah.
Absolutely.
And if anyone online has got any questions that you want to ask, I see we've got a few people watching, so yeah, that'll be good.
So I'm talking about two things today. One of them is that there's a new built-in SolidDissolver transformer for FME 22.0, and it's really meant to be a direct replacement for the SolidDissolver that was on the hub and the SolidDissolver Clipper workaround, which I'll talk about a little bit.
Okay.
You can get it in two ways. You can either just drop it down, same as you would any transformer, and you can also upgrade the hub transformer if you have it in your workspace. Now, you can only upgrade it if it was linked. If it was the custom transformer was embedded, the upgrade's not going to work.
Huh. I didn't realize you could do that. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, the parameters have changed. The built-in SolidDissolver is going to look a lot more like the dissolver and the surface dissolver, although one of the things that's different is that the attribute accumulation is off by default. So by default, we'll be dropping all attributes. And that's only because it takes us a little bit of extra processing time to keep them around, to track them throughout the process.
Gotcha.
And so we default to the faster thing. But if you need them, you can absolutely just select
fantastic.
the option that keeps them. So I'm going to start this running now. This data was downloaded from OpenStreetMap and modified by HOK, and they provided it to us. Thank you very much.
Okay, fantastic.
And then the other thing is that the SolidDissolver that we're shipping with FME 2022.0, it's built on the same technology as CSG Solids and solid clipping, and it currently doesn't support appearances, texture coordinates, or vertex normals. So if that's something that's super important, please let us know because we can absolutely add it. But I'm running the transition now, and in FME 21.0, this would have taken about an hour. And actually, we backported some of the performance improvements to the hub transformer as well for FME 22.0. So the hub transformer would take about 2.5 minutes.
Okay. And how long is this going to take, do you think? Oh, well, I see it's already 40% of the way through.
About halfway done.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just some folks were saying they were having a bit of a problem with your audio, but I think that's good. I think I turned it up a bit, so we should be good now. Excellent. So are you caching this at the same time as this is running?
I am not.
Okay.
Feature caching does include some runtime cost, and I wanted to put our best foot forward.
Sounds good. And was it us who created the SolidDissolver on the hub?
I think it was.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
It's actually a very clever workaround. It uses the clipper to do the SolidDissolve.
Right.
So some people I've seen have either used the hub transformer or some people have been using the clipper directly.
Okay.
But this is going to be easier to use and faster moving forward.
Fantastic. That's what I like.
Right. So it took 1 minute and 38 seconds. We can just kind of look at the data set now. It's a series of buildings from Manhattan.
Wow.
And we started with 1,724 buildings. And we end up with 249. And they are dissolved, I have checked.
Right, so they're like solid. What do we call that geometry in FME? Is that called a solid? I think it is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. So these are specifically boundary representation solids or BREP solids.
Oh,
And that means that
that's
it's everything inside the boundary. So you can see in the input data set, there was a bunch of different solids here.
okay. I did always wondered what BREP meant,
Yeah.
and now I know. So simple when you think about it. Ah, fantastic.
So that's kind of it for the solid dissolver. The
Yeah.
hope is it will just work, and you could just use it if that's what you're looking for.
And does the input need to be solid on the?
They do.
Okay.
So we have the same kind of strict input requirements that we do for CSG solids and solid clipping, which means the solids have to be fully validated before they can be used.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Cool. And the other one we've got for today was the Tyler, I believe.
Yeah. So the Tiler, we've added a new version of the Tiler in FME 2022.0. It's Tiler version 11. And there's a lot that has changed, and probably the easiest way to do that is to upgrade a version 10 Tiler. So one of the things you can see immediately is that it looks like there's fewer parameters, but that's just because we've hidden some of them in the advanced closed disclosure group. One of the other things that's changed is that the none tolerance option has been removed, and the minimum supported tolerance is automatic. The preserve lines as path segments parameter has also been removed. But there is a workaround if that's something you guys need. You can let us know. The missing Z and measure values have been reworked. So before, you could only set them together. So you could only say, I want to compute both the Z and the measure values. But now you can say, I want to interpolate some Z values while tiling and drop the measures. That's something you can do separately.
I like that.
There's also a new planar interpolation mode for Z values, which means if you have a planar area, we can actually interpolate based on the plane rather than based on the boundary.
Okay. So if it was do you mean like what would you call it, an angled slope? Okay.
And I have a demo of that actually.
Oh, fantastic.
There's also a new remnants port. So if you're doing area tiling and something collapses because it's within tolerance, you'll get the pieces out.
Fantastic.
Point clouds are tiled in groups. So the way that Tiler works is you take an entire group of features and you generate a grid for the entire group, and then you tile the features based on that entire grid. But point clouds didn't used to work that way, so now they've been harmonized to, if you send in multiple point clouds in the same group, you'll generate a single grid for all the groups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes
so just
sense.
standardizing some behavior.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Point clouds now support the starting corner parameter, which they didn't used to. That is up here.
All right, yeah.
And there's better rejection support for nan and infinite geometries kind of across the board, which is a rare case, but if it was your case, hopefully you'll have a better day.
Okay, fantastic. And I'm going to assume it runs faster as well. Wow, 0.2 per second.
I'll get into that. This is a very simple demo.
I didn't even have time to say, I guess it runs faster, and it had ran faster, so.
So this is a pretty simple demo, but I just wanted to illustrate the planar interpolation for Z values. So this is a square, but its Z's are not constant, but it is a planar geometry. And in version 10 of the Tiler, you would get this. And this is because the interpolation mode that we had defined requires there to be a border curve. So anything on the inside would have been set to Z equals 0, and then we interpolated from that border. And that still is an option in version 11. It's called linear interpolation. But in version 11, you can also say, I want planar, and it will.
Ooh. I like that.
I think do what you would expect.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, yeah. I'd never even thought about tiling 3D objects before, so with Z values. So that's pretty cool.
And the Tiler still only supports points, curves, areas, rasters, and point clouds, and collections of those. So it doesn't yet support surfaces or solids, but if that is a need, then please let us know, because that'll help us decide what we do next.
Okay, fantastic, yeah. So is underneath the transformer, is that completely differently rewritten for this year?
It is. And it also only applies to the new Tiler versions of version 11. So if you have Tilers in your workspaces and you upgrade to FME 2022.0, you get none of these behavior changes and you get none of the performance wins. So you do have to go and upgrade your Tilers in existing workspaces to access the new behavior.
Okay, I can see why you'd need to do that here. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then my last demo is a performance demo for the
Mm-hmm.
Tiler, and it's a game I like to play called FME Racing, where I have the same version of FME on the left hand and the right hand side. And the left hand side is version 10 of the Tiler, so the old one, and the right hand side is version 11 Tiler, so it's a new one. And we're actually going to take a polygon of Australia, and we're going to tile it in 10-kilometer tiles.
Wow.
So I'll start the old one first to give it a head start, and then I'll start the new one. Go, go, go.
Well, we've got the Olympics coming up very soon. Though it's Winter Olympics. I don't know if tiling is tiling a winter sport. Wow.
I'm not sure. So the new one is done.
Fantastic.
It took 4.8 seconds, but most of that time was actually spent sending it to the data inspector.
Wow. Oh, beautiful.
And there you go.
Love it. And the old one is still chugging away, I think.
It is still chugging away. I'm not going to let it finish. I cheated a little bit because it takes about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't like how many times faster is that? That must be about 200 times faster, I would think.
Yeah. So in terms of the new Tiler version, on average, things are 2 to 3 times faster.
Okay.
If you have a random average workspace.
Yeah.
But I've seen tiling points be up to 2 times faster, tiling curves up to 3 times faster, and I've seen a case where tiling areas was 30,000 times faster.
Wow.
And yeah, it really just depends on the shape of your data set and the shape of the geometry.
Yeah. I was going to say to everyone, I mean, we do have test suites and all sorts of different tests, but we can only come up with sort of an average over the whole thing, and
it varies so widely. Like I saw a case that was 30,000 times faster, and I saw a case that's not faster at all.
Yeah, so
it's hard to know.
So we've got our fingers crossed that whatever cases everyone out there is using is under 30,000 times faster. But that would be awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, was there anything else that you needed to cover on those two?
I don't think so. Please upgrade your tilers.
Okay.
And let us know if there are
good advice, everyone. Somebody's just asking in the chat, is this only available in 2022? And the answer is yes.
Only available in 2022.0 and beyond.
Yes, and the SolidDissolver is a brand new transformer. And
also only available in 2022.0 and beyond.
Now, if you've got an older version of FME, maybe the Hub one is still there or not. I don't know.
The Hub one, I think, is still there for older versions of FME.
Okay.
But it will essentially disappear when you upgrade to 2022.0, and we were required to do that to get upgrade to the built-in transformer working properly.
That makes sense. So the one last thing I was going to ask then was, what can you tell us about the Clipper? Because I've heard all of these rumors about the Clipper being a lot different. You don't have to demo it if you don't have anything prepared.
Yeah.
But,
no, it's all good. So the Clipper is one of our most popular geometry transformers, and it's also one of the ones that does the most, and it's the most complicated on the back end. So we have been working on rebuilding it from scratch for FME 2022.0, and we are planning to do a webinar on the Clipper in April. So if that's something you guys are interested in, you can come check it out. But we're hoping for performance improvements off the board. We're hoping for functionality improvements across the board, standardizing behavior, more stable behavior, and faster. But no numbers yet, because
no numbers yet. That's okay. I like that we got this theme of faster, and that's the World Tour theme as well. Is the racing cars going faster and faster? So that's awesome. So looking beyond that, 2023, like you allowed to give away what we're looking at next, or is that really up to the users to let us know what they're interested in?
The current thinking is we're going to keep making existing transformers faster. That's what I've heard from Don and Dale. But if there's something that's really high priority that really helps with customer workflows, like please let us know, because we absolutely listen to that information, and we still have time to change direction for 2023.0.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I haven't seen any complaints in the chat about things going faster, so I don't think we ever will.
No, I don't have time for lunch anymore.
The only time I had to complain was when I was trying to make training course on performance, and the performance just increased so good that so much that it was very difficult to create an exercise that showed what to do. So, oh, fantastic! Thank you. Any final questions from anyone on the channel? I'm only checking out the Twitch stream. I'm not looking on YouTube, so if anyone's posting there, I apologize. I can't watch both. But if there's any last questions, let us know. Other than that, I'll say thank you to Olivia. That was great. I mean, I'm really impressed with the work you guys do in that team, and
Thank you.
the performance and the maths and the functionality as well. It just blows my mind sometimes. So that's good. And you'll be on that webinar in April, I assume.
Yes, that's the plan.
Super. So there you go. Okay, well, we'll say goodbye to everyone then. And someone says, not too fast. We need time to make coffee while the workspace is run. So
I can't help you with that.
Okay.
You can put a decelerator in if you want.
Yes, and maybe even turn the coffee machine into an Internet of Things and connect it up, and then it sort of brews the coffee mid workspace and waits till it finishes before it carries on. Okay, well, I'll say goodbye to everyone then, and we'll turn off the stream. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. And if you look on the page on the FME community, we've got the schedule of coming up. Next week, we've got the Schema Scanner Transformer. I'll be here with Mark Stokes, and we're going to look at what that does and what's new. Then after that, the Unfolded Reader is the week after that, and the week after that's the Esri Reprojector. So make sure you tune into all of those. And thanks again. And we'll say goodbye to everyone. Okay, cheers, folks.
Thank you very much.
Bye.